on the court. Only 2 seconds had shown as coming off the game clock.
If you're Monaco, you don't want that extra 3 seconds on the clock right now.
So the clock adjusted to what it should be. Action resumes as Walkup being pursued by the AS Monaco captain Yakuba Ouattara. Walkup finds a cutting and dunking Sasha Vezenkov with the offload. Beautiful movements off the basketball by Vezenkov.
We talked about it. They're not being effective from outside the three-point line, so you have to cut when you get that ball into the lane. Walkup did a great job of splitting the pick. Nice backdoor cut, defended well by Cannon.
And Cannon picking up the loose ball. John Brown with the turnover. Isaiah Cannon with his second steal of the game. Strong start for Olympiacos. Can they build on it once again, having had AS Monaco go down the floor and not get a look at the bucket? What an offload, and the foul finishing through the contact on the inside is Kostas Papanikolaou. Mustafa Foul with the feed out of the low post, delightful vision, and how about that for a cut, catch and completion on the inside by Kostas Papanikolaou.
You know, Ron, I talked about the fact earlier they were playing a lot of face-to-face defense. So you want to talk about adjustments that are made at halftime? That's one by Coach Bartsokis. The ball gets within the paint, anywhere in the lane. I need cutters. I need somebody cutting to the basket. And Monaco's now going to have to adjust. In 50 seconds, they had 2 cuts to the basket and 5 points for Olympiacos, and they feel the rhythm. They're back in the game.
So a lead that was at 12 at the halftime interval has been cut down to 7. A 5-0 run to start the second half for Olympiacos. Mike James putting Walkup on his back. Mid-range Jays off the front line. Oh. What an offensive rebound. John Brown offloads to Donatas Motiejunas. He's being guarded by Mustafa Foul in the low post. No foul on the bump. Big men being allowed to play close to the bucket. Too strong off the glass. Saved by Kostas Papanikolaou, the captain leading by example. Olympiacos looking to break this one open in the second half, but Isaiah Cannon off the mark with his trifecta.
Cannon was trying to bring about 5,000 Olympiacos fans to their feet right there with that 3.
So Mike James has used his dribble. Flat pass to John Brown. Look at the battle down low. Skidding over the baseline is Sasha Vezenkov. He's called for the foul, wrestling with Donatas Motiejunas.
Ron, midway through the second quarter, we saw Monaco take that punch from Olympiacos. They're taking another one right now. So these next couple offenses are really important for Monaco to get themselves back into the game and feel that rhythm on the offensive side.
Fading jump hook is too strong. John Brown with an offensive rebound. He tried to offload but put it straight into the hands of the league leader in steals. Thomas Walkup picking it off. So another trip down the floor without a score. Just over 2 minutes gone in the third, and AS Monaco yet to score as Foul looking to dunk on top of Olympiacos. Olympiacos. Jordan Lloyd breaking it up on the inside, coming over from the weak side. And again, you've got to like that paint protection from a man who is a scorer for AS Monaco.
I love the paint protection, but I don't like the fact that Foul doesn't throw that down. Come on, man, you're 7'2" out there. You got to throw that down over Jordan Lloyd. You cannot affect a little bump on the arm, a little bit more speed on the move for Foul right there, and you have an and one. Now he's sending himself to the line where we talked about him being a little bit better in the playoff range, but, you know, I mean, you can paint it any way you want. A 53% shooter is a 53% shooter. You got to get that and one if you're the big boy.
So Foul. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. That's a 6-0 run to begin the second half for Olympiacos, chipping away, halving the deficit of a dozen that they faced after 20 minutes of play. Ouattara, 2-3 zone being played by Olympiacos. Solid screen set by Motiejunas. Intricate interior passing, tough turnaround shot. They come up empty once again. Olympiacos doing an outstanding job ensuring that it's one and done for AS Monaco.
And Monaco's shooting going away from the basket instead of going towards the basket. Like Foul right there. Up and over and at the basket. You got to go aggressively. You've had 3 shots in a row by Monaco. 2 by Motiejunas and 1 by Brown. And all 3 of them were fading away. And right now, what do we got here?
So Olympiacos has stitched together a run of 8 points without reply to begin the second half. They are back to within 4. Sasha Obradovic calls timeout. He wants to talk this one over and look to break this momentum being established by Olympiacos. Well, the Turkish Airlines play of the second quarter comes from the defensive side of the basketball, because Dante Hall bounded off the court off both feet and continued to elevate skyward to spike that shot attempt from Kostas Papanikolaou. Forcefully back down to earth. Dante Hall with the Turkish Airlines flight time player of the game for the second quarter.
You know, Rana, Olympiacos didn't pretty much control first place in this difficult EuroLeague season for no reason at all. You know they got the heart to come back into this game. You knew they were going to try to do it as early as possible. And right now, this 8-0 run has put them right in the position of where they want to be. Again, I keep talking about the fact Monaco, remember the timeout that Coach Obradovic called in the second quarter when the punch came, got a three-pointer out of it. Let's see what he comes up with this time right here. See if he can come up with the play to settle his team back into where they were earlier in that first half and the end of the second quarter.
So 2 minutes 40 seconds gone. Full court pressure being applied by Olympiacos as the fans dialing up their volume here at the Zalgiris Arena. That 8-0 run has come in this third quarter. Yes, Monaco go in search of their first score. Mike James round the top of the key, down the edge of the lane. He's lost control, managed to get it out to the corner. Difficult 3 attempt, and that is outstanding D from Olympiacos once again. They are suffocating AS Monaco at the offensive end.
Is it just something about that end of the floor or what? Because right now, Monaco looks like Olympiacos in the first half.
So John Brown climbing beneath the jersey of the newly crowned MVP, Sasha Vezenkov. Corner three-pointer from Kostas Papanikolaou is buried, and it's a double-digit run of points without reply. Kostas Papanikolaou, 11 points in the game on 2 of 4 shooting from downtown. His team back to within 1. And still AS Monaco remains stone cold from the field in this second half. Cannon. A field goal of any description will see Olympiacos take their first lead since they led 1-0. As Walker drives, kicks, Vezenkov for 3, bucket! And Olympiacos Piraeus are rolling here at the Zalgiris Arena, and AS Monaco, with over 4 minutes gone in the third quarter, have yet to put a point on the board, outscored on a 14-0 run. They're in complete disarray and need to find something to get back to parity from the field. Donatas Motiejunas with the pickup. John Brown battling for it. There's a shot clock violation. That basket will not count. And AS Monaco, well, their fans turning their back on them momentarily because they are enduring a nightmare portion of this basketball game.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of weak body language here by Monaco as they're starting to get a little frustrated with each other. They didn't even get a shot off on that one right there. They had a couple of attempts and looks at the basket, but now is the point where you start to get nervous. You feel that you're on this run of 4.5 minutes without scoring, and each player gets a little bit more nervous. They start to hold that ball a little bit longer than they need to because they don't want to take that quick shot. They have to get in some sort of flow to get themselves back into this game. Olympiacos is feeling themselves right now.
So Walker, it's a foul in the high post, foul not facing up to the bucket. Cannon using the screen from foul. Vezenkov, defended by John Brown, is Papanikolaou. Dumps it down low. Vezenkov off the front rim, Donatas Motiejunas with the rebound. AS Monaco looking to push it through Mike James. Mike James putting the Olympiacos transition D on their heels. Eliakobo one-on-one with Walker. Motiejunas battling Vezenkov down on the block. Mike James offloads, Eliakobo step back 3, contemplated it, front rim on the shot, Mustafa Fowl with the rebound. A solid defensive sequence produced by Olympiacos, and still AS Monaco in search of their first score of the second half with approaching 5.5 minutes gone. So Walker Nice steal, Jordan Lloyd, terrific speed down the sideline. And finally, at 5 minutes 40 seconds, AS Monaco get their first second half points on the board. A fast break flush rammed home by Olympiacos from the outstanding player of the game, Jordan Lloyd, steal and offload.
And Ron, they did it on the defensive end, actually. It was a pressure right on there on the sideline to get that steal and get out and get the 2-on-1 break. And that's what you have to do if you're Monaco, because your half-court offense is not working for you right now. And you see the way both these teams are playing. Only 4 fouls so far here in the second quarter. 1 for Olympiacos. That was the 3rd right there for Monaco. So it's not an aggressive form of defense. It is for Olympiacos, but they're not drawing. Monaco's not drawing any fouls by getting to the basket.
So Walker orchestrating a half-court offense. Oh, what an intricate pass on the inside. Count the basket. Kostas Papanikolaou coming to the fore in this first semi-final here at the Žalgiris Arena. 13 points in the game, sees him as the joint high scorer in the game. And he'll go to the free throw line looking to add 1 more.
This is Olympiacos basketball, Ron. 9 assists in the first half, 16 in the game right now. As this 7 assists here in this 3rd quarter. You have cutting Vezenkov, cutting Papanikolaou to the basket, opening up the outside shots for the 3-pointers out there. Another missed one, foul shot, but Papanikolaou stays with it.
Vezenkov for 3 off right, rebound Mike James. So it is a 1-score game.
Boy, Vezenkov won that one back. I can tell you that was just a custom-made 3-point shot for him.
Olympiacos, the sole scorer for Monaco in the second half. John Brown with another offensive rebound. What an outstanding job he is doing. His 3rd offensive rebound of the game. Olympiacos one-on-one with Vezenkov. Hesitation dribble, flat pass. Yakubu Alpha Diallo working his way into the lane. It's another shot clock violation. Where is the communication for AS Monaco? Sasha Obradovic saying, listen, I can't take the shots for you. Recognize the time, score, context, and take responsibility.
Yeah, they're forcing themselves into bad shots and not even getting looks at the end. You know, they got the offensive rebound. Brown gets offensive rebound. You know, as a player, you only have 14 seconds. You have to set that play up quick. You can't take that much time. You know, when you're out on the floor, you start to feel the pressure of having to get that shot up. Somebody has to take it. And they're just not producing good shots right now. They're actually lucky to only be down 2 right now, because Olympiacos is making a big run here.
16-2 the run overall in this 3rd quarter. Oh, it's foul again out of the low post. Hooking up the cutting Isaiah Cannon. The roles reversed. The big hooking up the playmaking guard. Isaiah Cannon to 7 points in the game, but what a pass from the block from Mustafa Foul.
It's a beautiful pass by the big man. Again, James had to look at the basket, but gives up the rock right here. Nobody wants to shoot. They're down under 5 again.
Olympiacos, is he going to force
Look
a
at
tough
this.
one-on-one? Isaiah Cannon all over him. Step back 3, and he misses everything.
3 shot clock violations in this quarter alone.
Isaiah Cannon with a suffocating defensive effort to completely shut off the offense that Olympiacos was looking to create.
I mentioned this earlier in the first half. The one play where Vezenkov cut down the middle of the lane when Kostas Sloukas penetrated was the key to this game for Olympiacos, because they were putting everybody out handball style, you know, out around that 3-point line. And Monaco is covering that. The cuts are wide open, and you saw it even when Fall gets the ball down in the low post.
So Papanikolaou, so foul in the high post, foul, dumps it down to Vezenkov, who moved his feet well to receive the basketball. Vezenkov bullying his way, goaltend from Dante Hall, demonstrating his bounce, catching it on the descent. The ball had passed the peak of its parabola. Dante Hall just a step late on the help side D.
Yeah, I don't think there's any mistake about this. We're going to get a good look at it. You see Vezenkov go up and here. Oh, man, I don't want to be a referee in this game, because that, I thought for sure that ball was going down, Ron, but in slow motion.
Make no mistake, though, Dante Hall head height to the rim. Terrific bounce beneath the basket from Dante Hall. 6 points the advantage for Olympiacos as Mike James deep in the shot clock once again. They've got to pull the trigger here. A really difficult field goal attempt, and Olympiacos gobbling up the defensive boards once more.
What a defensive possession by Thomas Walkup right there. He didn't give James anything, almost got to steal from behind. Stopped the three-pointer, made James give it up and then take a bad shot. And now, look at that.
Foul rocking the rim on the cut to the bucket, hooked up by Thomas Walkup. And Olympiacos completely steamrolling AS Monaco.
Hey, Ron,
a 22-2 third quarter thus far.
I'm pretty sure the real Olympiacos team got off the bus at halftime. I don't know who that first team was in the first 20 minutes of this game, but the other team got off the bus, the one we've seen all season, and we're checking them out right here in the third quarter. What a run.
AS Monaco struggling to put the ball in the basket. One fast break jam after 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and their body language, well, it's looking a little bit dispirited, and dare I say it, a little bit disunited. They've got to come together here and try and stem the flow of points that Olympiacos are creating. Down to the corner. Corner three, in and out. John Brown battling for the offensive board, but Olympiacos ensuring there's no second opportunity once again.
Yeah, but you saw Diallo got that ball and didn't shoot that in rhythm. He stalled a little bit. He waited, hesitated to take the shot. You want to take your shots in rhythm, don't hesitate. Again.
This is like a layup drill for Olympiacos Piraeus, and the fans clad in red and white of the team from the port city of Piraeus up on their feet and celebrating their successes.
Hey,
AS Monaco have got to respond. They're down by a double-digit deficit.
Hey, Ron, quick question for you. You're supposed to be the one asking me questions. By the way, who's the coach of the year?
That man who was last year, Mr. Georgios Bartzokas.
Yeah, and what does he do at halftime? He makes sure that he has offensive players cutting through the lane. Stop shooting threes, guys. Let's get it inside, and let's get some easy baskets. Then we'll open up the floor. This third quarter is called third quarter Bartzokas right here, because he's changed the way that Olympiacos played that first half.
Bartzokas, the first man to win back-to-back Alexander Gamelski Coach of the Year awards, and just the second person to claim 3 Alexander Gamelski Coach of the Year awards. And what an adjustment he must have made at halftime, and his team carrying it out to perfection, executing on both ends of the floor, whereas AS Monaco in complete disarray. Back iron on the three-point attempt from the top of the key. They have scored just 2 points in 9 minutes and 40 seconds of play. And what a lockdown effort by Olympiacos.
Olympiacos wants to take this down to the end of the shot clock. There's only 4 seconds in the 4-second differential here.
So Laurent Zaikis, nobody challenged. Oh,
you're kidding me.
It is Olympiacos' night, surely. Janulis Laurent Zaikis lost the handle, got it. Nobody closed out on him, and what did he do? Let it fly from long range and kissed it off the window. Bank Hopen here at the Jalgirio Arena, and the Olympiacos fans jumping for joy. Janulis Laurent Zaikis, the shot not contested by Alpha Diallo, and he drains it from downtown via the glass.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, the smartest player on the floor was by a young man that just came in the game, Mikhailis Launsis, who fouls on the possession so that they make sure Monaco doesn't get another possession. He was put in the game specifically for that reason. Banks home the 3, gets the foul, and they close out this quarter with a 13-point lead.
What a performance in the third quarter by Olympiacos. They're up by 13. Well, we're looking at the highlights, and the replay producer is going to have a hard